missed this one. So, 4th November 2019, Monday, 7:29 p.m. Usually I ask the same question. It's what brings you to Latvia and what are your impressions?
It not, it's not my first time in Latvia. I was there before, and of course, Latvia is my favorite country. Really, favorite country of Europe. And when I came here, I know my tasks for Latvia. Yeah, so Latvia is great. Riga is great. Tomorrow, yesterday I was in center in Riga, and today I was in Sigulda. Sigulda, yeah. It is my first time when I went out of Riga and saw another cities. So I'm really happy. I enjoy Riga, and my So I every time I really happy to visit it.
So was that's your second time?
Yeah, it is my second time, and I think it not the last time.
And what was your first time?
This year in May. Yeah. I came here 4th May. It was the next day after my birthday, and as I know, it is the day of it is national holiday. It is. Yeah. So before that I was here in May.
So what was the reason? What brought you here?
Travel. The last time it was and now and last time it was only it was my dream to visit Riga while I become to be 18. I really wanted to came to Riga. It is some city from my dreams, from my childhood, and only when I became 20 I came here. I can't say main reason. It was my dream and I came here. So
what was so special about Riga? Why was it your dream?
Firstly, I saw a lot of books. I read a lot of books in my childhood and
about Riga?
Yeah, about Riga, because I have a lot of friends in Moscow, and they came to Moscow from Riga. And my teacher, when I was at school, my teacher, geography, he touched geography and history. He is from here. Yeah, he from Riga, and from him I heard about this city, and after that I don't know why I saw some pictures with architecture of Riga, about story, about about I try to generate in Russian.
Yeah, take your time.
About Crusaders, about Teutonic wars, about Orden, yeah, Teutonic.
You mean the Crusades?
Yeah, Crusades. Yeah,
right.
About Crusades, and I enjoy castles and all of this. In my mind, create some picture of Riga, of Latvia. So it became to be my dream.
If you like all these things, wouldn't you go to St. Petersburg?
Yeah, I was in St. Petersburg. I think all Russians was in Petersburg. All it is
It's
Yeah.
a stereotype.
Yeah, it's a stereotype. It is no, it's not stereotype. It's fact. Yeah, Saint Petersburg is some special city, and everyone wants to go here. And of course, now Moscow and Saint Petersburg are. It is really easy to travel from Moscow to Petersburg. So a lot of guys traveling in the weekends or holidays. So to one direction and back. So I think everyone was in Saint Petersburg. Of course, yeah. All my friends was in Petersburg, and right now when I came here, it is in Russia holidays because today is national holiday. And
What kind of holiday? In the start of November, there's a holiday.
Yeah.
What kind of?
4th November. Yeah, today 4th November is holiday. It is new holiday what appears when the Soviet Union disappears. It is holiday of the United Nations. Yeah, like that. In Russia, it is. It is holiday from Russian Empire, so it is new for us.
But what is it about?
It is about the end of bad times in Russian Empire. It's called the, maybe you know it by the name of Smutное время. I think maybe somebody who will see this video know. Смутное время, it is part of history when Russia was without imperator, without government, and when the Polish tried to made Polish guy imperator of Russia, and there was a lot of problems, and the end of this time called the end of the Смутное время. Смутное время, it's mean bad time, yeah, like that.
So it's about many hundred years ago, right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and of course it wasn't holiday in Soviet Union, and only now maybe in 19th, so yeah, it's become to be holiday.
Yeah, maybe they just would like to have some free days.
Yeah, it is.
Why not? So what's next for your travels then? You're now in Riga the second time.
Yeah,
What do you do next?
Riga was my main task, and after that I go home.
Oh really? You just come specifically for Riga?
Yeah. My travel, it was a long travel because I came from Moscow to Pskov. It is a city in the north of Russia. After that to Tartu. It is a small city in Estonia, but it was a road to Riga, and now I'm 2 days here, and yes, after that I will go to Moscow.
Sounds like you're a little bit crazy. Right?
A little. I don't know. Latvia and Riga is some special for me. I was in a lot of countries of Europe, and they are really similar. They are, if you took some photos from center of Berlin, Paris, or another city, they are the same. But maybe Latvia has some specific atmosphere for me. I don't know. I enjoy to be here, and it is easy to come here from Russia. So when I have some chance, I want to come here.
But why didn't you just come with the train?
Because train is more expensive. Yeah,
How expensive is it?
around 5,000 rubles. It is. Sure, it is some hard.
Oh, by the way, we should make an Instagram post. I always forget.
500 rubles. It is. Wait, 5,000. It is 71 euro, and
one way.
one way, yeah.
Ah.
And maybe some tickets to the plane is cheaper.
Really?
Yeah, really.
Why?
Because it is popular direction, I think.
All right. So why didn't you come by plane?
Because my way by buses are cheaper and
Yeah, but also longer.
longer, of course. But I came to Pskov by train, and after that, from Pskov to here, it is not not long road. Yeah.
Let's try it. You have Instagram, right? I think I have it.
Yeah.
Cool. So do you have Instagram?
Hmm?
Do you have Instagram?
Oh yeah, of course.
So you could write. You can tag yourself.
Yeah.
So 80. Which one is it? 80. Which one is it? 86. Mm-hmm. All right, 86. 86, and there you go.
With
The at, somewhere on the left.
yeah, like that.
Okay. And just Twitter. Now it's uploading. And you should get a notification, right? You should get a notification
Yeah.
once it's uploaded, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, it's done. Should be live.
Second.
Actually, I should put a hashtag Russia.
Oh.
So,
Okay, I think.
do you see it?
No. Right now, there appears some problems with internet. Okay.
Oh,
At that moment.
hashtag Russia. So your username is @HallelisFox.
Yeah.
Yeah, alright. So
My.
it's at least in there.
Yeah. Okay.
Alright. So you'll go back to Moscow then?
Yeah.
And what will you do in Moscow when you return?
The day after tomorrow, I will go to my university.
Mhm.
So, yes, I will come to Moscow tomorrow evening. So I think I will come home. Maybe I will cook some food, and yeah. And
No, I mean when you go back to Moscow, what
Yeah.
are your plans? Do you plan to finish your study? Do you plan to graduate?
Yeah, about it. Yes.
Right? So you
So-
said you had many jobs.
In my plans, of course, to end my education in university.
How much do you have left? How many years?
1 year,
Ah.
and we have now we have a European system, and there are 2 steps. It is baccalaureate and magister.
What was it before?
We before that there was one system. It was specialization, and you study for 5 years, and that's all. Now you study 4 years, and it is your first higher education. And after that you can continue your education.
Okay.
2 years more. So yeah, now I need to end my first education, and after that I think I want to continue and my and 2 years more.
And do you mean as a geologist?
Yeah, it is geologist.
So what do you do as a geologist? Can you tell me?
Really, it is really interesting profession, because there are a lot of directions of work. Firstly, it is to explore some how is it in English, some useful things like coal, like oil, like gas, and another. But it's not all, because at the same time it is science, and we try to understand how our Earth become be like this. History of our Earth, and another direction, it is engineering, and geologists are necessary to make some buildings, because they analyzed the ground, and they say if it is possible or not possible.
That sounds boring, right?
Maybe, but by the fact it's not boring, because it is the work what includes a lot of travels, traveling.
For the building?
Not building. Building, it is some civil. Another direction. Of course, if you want to find something, you need to go to this place, and it is its place everywhere. It is Middle East, it is Far East in Russia, Kamchatka, Baikal, it is Siberia, and all my education, and I hope all my future work includes travelings in different countries, in different places, regions. So it's not boring.
No, I meant boring for the building.
Maybe, but at the same time, if you don't want to travel, you can be engineer, geologist, and work in your motherland.
But you like to travel, so So you want to the buildings? You will just find oil.
Maybe when I become to be older, and when I will tired from travelings, I will be engineer geologist in Moscow, or maybe in Riga. Why not? I heard what it is one of main directions, a lot of works with a lot of it's buildings. Now in Latvia it is popular.
What? Geology?
No, not geology, but construct new buildings, and
I think Moscow has more new buildings than all of Latvia.
Yeah, of course that is, but I enjoy Riga, and really I don't like Moscow, and I think no one in Moscow doesn't like Moscow because it is.
Actually, I recently had some people from Moscow, and they said Moscow is awesome because you can go to a grocery store 24 hours in the day, and it sounded cool. If you really have a 24-hour shop.
Yeah, that's good, and of course, in Moscow, a lot of good things. It is a very large city. It is 40 million people, around that. And in Moscow, you have a lot of chances. A lot you can find some good job. You can. It is easy to travel from Moscow because a lot of directions from Moscow to another countries, cities.
Moscow has the most billionaires in the world, right?
Yeah.
It's full of rich people, right?
Yeah, but at the same time there are a lot of poor people. Yeah, Russia it is a country of.
It's funny you say that because I had I think from China, and I don't remember if it was a he or she, but basically the guest said that Chinese people are going into Russia to buy because it's more cheaper than in China. Which sounds crazy.
There are a lot of Chinese in Moscow, and on my university there are thousands of Chinese.
Really?
Really? Yeah, they came to Moscow. Yeah, really, in Moscow is a good city for job, of course, and it is really
better than Hong Kong or Shanghai.
I don't know. I think in some things it is better, in some things it is worse. But
what's the best industry to work in Moscow? Probably media, right?
Yeah, IT. Yeah, there are a lot of IT businesses, and in Moscow you can find everything, and it is really a rich city. It is the richest of Russia, and and for majority part of people come to Moscow. It is the way to the better life, and yeah, so Moscow sometimes good in this plane. Yeah, it is good, but at the same time it is the most noisy. It is
it's probably just crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy city. It is hard to live in Moscow. Moscow like New York in this plane, because everyone every time thinking about work, and they are really nervous. They are really serious. They.
You mean the people?
People, yeah, all people. Morning in Moscow metro. It is.
Oh yeah, the Moscow traffic is probably really, really stressful.
Yeah, of course. the life in Moscow it is stressful. Yeah, but so yes, and as for me, my parents and my family are from smaller city, from Volga. It is also city in the north of Russia.
Is it far from Moscow?
Yeah, it is far. It is like from Moscow to Petersburg, but Petersburg it is in the north and west, and Volga it is only north.
So what? Somewhere around the polar region?
Yeah, it's we have some great regions. It's and Vologda and Petersburg and Murmansk. It is the northern Russia. It's called
Yeah.
northern Russia. Yeah. It is under the polar,
Uh-huh.
but yeah.
But it's close.
Yes. So yeah, and of course now, and my father and my mother are in Moscow.
Why did they go to Moscow? Do you know?
My father came to Moscow because he ended his education in Vologda, and after that he took a new great job. It is company, Severstal. It is company of using metals and coal in Russia, and so
They're a sponsor of a KHL team, right?
yes.
I think I've heard of Severstal.
Yeah, so Severstal literally means north metal. Sever it is north.
Okay.
Stal it is metal. So yeah, he came to Moscow because he took new job with a great salary. So he ought to came to Moscow. And my mother, she was born in Moscow. So my family from father, my grandmother, grandfather, they are in Vologda. Yeah, and here in Moscow, my father met my mother, and so yeah, we are.
So your mother is a total city person.
Yeah, she was born in Moscow, and her parents and parents of her parents, and she doesn't like traveling.
Because she has everything in the city.
Yeah, she all her life was in Moscow, but at the same time, she said to me, if you have chance to exit from Moscow to go out, so running away.
I mean, just visiting or completely?
Completely, of course.
What is bad about Moscow then? Why would she say that?
Because I don't.
The air pollution, right?
Yes, it is not the worst. City by ecology. Of course, in Peking, it is really worse. But my home in the north of Moscow, it is a really clean part of city. There are a lot of forests, a lot of parks. So it's not the main reason. I don't agree with my mother because I don't want to to say her reasons to leave the Moscow, because I don't agree with them.
But you said yourself that you would like to go out of Moscow,
yeah,
right?
I want to go out from Moscow.
It's just a different reason than first?
Yeah, it is different reasons from my mother.
So there's more than one reason then?
Yeah, there are a lot of reasons to leave the Moscow, of course. As for me, of course, it is...
It's too big?
It is too big. It is too many persons, too many people there. And I enjoy some more... Nature, some more... not so nervous, not so stressful.
I don't get it. What do you mean by nervous? Because it's hard to imagine Moscow people being exceptionally nervous. It's just probably the everyday busyness of a big city, right? You have to get somewhere, get to work, get to school.
Yeah, nervous. Nervous. They, of course, because they are really busy. They came to be aggressive. Yeah, in Moscow, everyone is really aggressive.
You just mean like typically rude.
Yeah.
But I think that's just the general big city stereotype.
Of course, but then when your city came to be larger and larger, the civils become to be more and more aggressive, of course. And in my fatherland, okay, in Vologda it is small city, and my childhood was here in Vologda. Yeah, it is. The people there are more kindly. They usually want to help you. They usually enjoy to to speak with you, and it is something what you cannot find in Moscow.
Oh, come on! There are. You said it yourself. There's 14 million people.
Yeah, but nobody. 40 million, but nobody doesn't like you. Of course. If you live in Moscow, you will find a lot of friends, and I really enjoy them. I really respectful them, but it is. To live in Moscow, life in Moscow, it make your life shorter. Yeah. So if you
too much stress.
Yeah, because when every day you have a lot of stress, and
but you don't need to stress. If you don't want you can just relax. It's not like somebody comes with a gun and says you need to stress.
You need to stress if you want to live there, because for example,
you mean because it's expensive to live there?
Yes, it is expensive. It is the most expensive.
How expensive could it be?
About 25% of your
for everything.
No.
Could you buy bread for the same price in Moscow as in Vologda?
Or in Vologda it will be cheaper, of course.
The bread?
Yeah.
Really?
Everything will be cheaper.
Why is that?
Why it is necessary to be stressful? Because, for example, my university is in the south part from Moscow, in Moscow, and I live in the north. And every day I must to wake up at 6 o'clock.
But there are two solutions. You should choose a university that's in the north, or you should live in the south.
Yeah. So there are two variants, but first variant, it's why I choose university in the south, because I study in Moscow State University. It is the best university of Russia at all, and in the north there are not really good universities. And
how do you decide which university is good or not?
We have some list with.
So you believe in lists?
Yeah, about our university. Okay, if not believe in lists, our university is special. It has special place in second. It is.
You mean the university is special in some way?
It is special
compared to other universities?
Yes, I try to.
Because of its geography?
No, in our university all specializations are good, and we have in Russia we have some ministers, and Minister of Education,
Mm-hmm.
and all universities are under this ministry.
Okay.
Yeah, but our university, it is another. It is special
Why?
because historically it is the first university of Russia. Yeah, it is. Of course, if somebody from Petersburg will see this video, they will be angry because they said what St. Petersburg University is the first in Russia, but
so which is true?
Hmm?
So which is true?
Moscow,
So-
because
Why?
because Petersburg University is the first, but it is it university like laboratory, like a science place, but the first university in which
like an
student-
institute?
like an institute, like there are students where you can take your
But wait a
education.
second, if you say that St. Petersburg had the first research institute,
Yeah.
where did the researchers come from? Somebody had to educate them.
Yes.
So there wasn't a type of school.
Yeah, there was gymnasiums. It is the schools with
Also,
religion.
so the St. Petersburg Institute, it wasn't a school.
Yeah, it wasn't a school. It's
Ah.
not. It is. Yeah,
It's
it
just
is
for
like-
working.
It is, yes, it's in this.
Ah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, so yeah, and our university is the first school.
Real
It is
university.
high school. first.
Academic institution.
Yeah. So
Ah.
and we our university is not in this ministry. It is.
But why? I mean, if it's a school, if it's a university,
Yeah.
and you have a Ministry of Education.
Yeah, but it is because
What's the reason why you? Because which is the ministry?
because our education has another plan. It's not like education in other universities. It is another plan, another.
It sounds weird. It sounds weird. You have a Russian university in
Yeah.
Russia that
Yeah.
is not the same as other
Yeah.
universities in Russia.
Yeah, but
So why? What's the VIP treatment for?
yeah, it is VIP because Moscow University is VIP. It is historically so.
It's just weird. It sounds like it's almost like what's the system where they don't allow certain types of people somewhere in the country because it's not for the normal persons. It's only for privileged aristocrats.
Yeah, but I'm a usual guy, and
Yeah.
in Moscow State University can take education everyone, but of course.
So who is the responsible ministry for the Moscow State University?
Moscow State University.
Don't say that they have their own minister.
Firstly, MSU, Moscow State University, has this ministry gave the government of universities, rectors, directors of
I
university.
understand. Yeah.
But the director of Moscow State University, it is a special person, and only our president choose them. So, if you want to be director of another university, there are a lot of ways you can. So.
I get what you mean, but still, it's just a university with a education that you could get otherwise also, right? You could get the same education in probably St. Petersburg as well, right?
Not really.
Why?
Because I don't know why. It is some it is historical, so it because
But do you understand the reason? Why should it be so?
mm,
Because it's a university, it's Russia,
yeah,
and then they have a special treatment for Moscow University for whatever reason. But you
because
still get the higher education. It's just a regular higher education.
it is a regular situation. I think the majority part of Russians after school go to some university. But okay. If you end your school education and you want to, usually you want to go to university because higher education, it is something necessary to get job. Because all companies want to take persons with a high education. But if you want to be a scientist,
Sure.
so you need to go to Moscow State University. It is
Weird. So all researchers in Russia come almost exclusively from Moscow State University?
Yes. Usually, not all. Okay. In another university, there are scientists too, but of course, it is because Moscow University, it is special for scientists. It's mean if you want to go there after your end of your education, you will be scientist. If you will go to another university, your future, you can be everyone. You can take education and after that go to fabric or go to tourism, to go to another direction. But but after our university, usually you will go to your specialization. So
that's the reason why you chose it.
yes.
So then you have to wake up at 6 and just
and
do the damn thing.
Go to my university in the metro, and in metro a lot of people, and they are aggressive, and every morning,
you mean
6 days.
You mean
in a
aggressive as in you are just sitting minding your business and somebody is disturbing you?
No. If you
you can come into the metro, sit down, right?
No.
Why?
Because there are no place to sit down.
Well, then you can go earlier, right? Because you probably go at the time when where everybody else is going to work and school.
Yeah.
If you go 1 hour earlier, nobody's there, right?
Yeah.
Only the bombs.
Yeah. Right. But at the same time, in some stations, from the opening of metro, there are a lot of people. It's not about me, because in the north it is not so a lot of people. But in the southeast, it is the most. There are.
Just the most people.
Yeah, the most people, large population. So every morning, my father lives in the south, but he has a car and he doesn't use metro. But
wait a second, your father lives in the south?
Yeah.
But you live in the north?
Yeah.
So why don't you live with your father? So you will be closer to the university. See, problem solved.
He lives in southeast. And the university in southwest.
Is it still too far?
Yes, because if you want to use the metro, and Moscow metro, it is circles.
Okay.
We have center circle, larger circle, and there are lines which
Mhm.
Yeah, in
Across.
this circle, across the circle. So if you live in the west, you need to go to center, and after that to southeast.
Mhm.
And I came from north. It is the same road.
Mhm.
Yeah, and
So you need a car.
yes, but car traffic
Oh,
in
wait a
Moscow.
Oh, wait a second. No, you don't need car. You need a bicycle or an e-scooter.
Yeah, and about that, I really enjoy bicycle, and I have bicycle in past, but two times somebody take my bicycle. It's
Well, but is it an expensive bicycle? You could just buy a new one.
mm,
You don't have to have an ultra premium bicycle. You just
Of
take
course.
a regular bicycle. So
Of course.
Szkolnik.
yeah, of course, and I have something like that, a scooter. Yeah, I have scooter, and of course in autumn and in spring I use it, but in winter it's not possible, and you know. In Europe, there are a lot of bicycle roads. A lot of if you want to be to have bicycle, if you want to use it, it's not problem. But in Russia, it's not now. It's not in our culture. I don't know, and the government doesn't worry about bicyclists.
It's in all of the post-Soviet countries, not just Russia.
No, yeah, but no, in all, but in I was in Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania. It is really better because
Oh, so we are better?
yeah, Latvia is
But
better.
yeah, but we don't come even close to the old European countries. I mean, in Germany, in Denmark,
yeah, of course.
Netherlands, it's a totally different animal.
Oh, of course, yes, but it is better than Moscow.
Ah,
Yeah, because in Moscow, why there are a lot of problems with traffic?
you know why I think that? Because I think a lot of the politicians are corrupt.
Yes, it is. It is.
Because if there would be money in bicycles, right, it would be already done.
Yeah. So, yeah, and the reasons why I can't to use bicycle. I use it, but in spring and autumn,
Mhm.
because in winter there are only snow, only ice, and nobody doesn't clean the roads, and it
But
is
wait a second, but Moscow is a rich city, right?
yeah,
They have a lot of money,
yeah.
right? So
It
what
is.
do they do? Do they just stuff their pockets?
They buy some
Luxury jeeps?
luxury jeeps. Yeah. They build. Yeah, they build new, modern and really good parks, buildings. Yeah.
Mhm.
Now in the last 5, maybe the more than 5 to 10 years, Moscow become to be more and more comfortable. It's
Mhm.
true. Yeah, and our metro become to be larger and larger, and
Mhm.
it is really good for usual guys because yeah, now I spend 20 minutes less than before because new line which connect my university and my home, yeah, it appears.
So
Yeah.
how long do you need to travel with the metro?
By the metro 1 hour, and I need to came to the metro by bus. No, by bicycle. But in winter by bus. So all road is around 1.5 hour, maybe more, and
Just
it is
one way.
one day. Yeah, and it is 3 hours
Yeah.
per day.
Yeah.
When
You know where I went to university?
mm,
When you go out, turn one block away and go through the park.
Yeah, so it is one more reason why Riga is better than Moscow. Yeah, and about bicycle. If you want to use bicycle, you need to use bicycle and metro because from the south to the from north to the south, the distance it is more than 100 kilometers.
For Moscow?
Yeah, it is all of this. It's Moscow. I can show you modern map of Moscow, and it is really large.
Yeah, but that's a country.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
is
that's a country.
larger than some countries, and population of Moscow.
Because you can go from Riga to Lithuania
Yeah,
in less than 100 kilometers.
one. Yeah.
Lithuanian border is
Yeah.
around 80 kilometers, maybe.
Yeah, like
Maybe.
that. It
Yeah.
is,
Yeah.
and so it is a really large city. There are large population. So of course, Moscow.
So essentially, Moscow should be a separate country. It's not really Russia. It's Moscow, right?
Yeah, and it's some and it is true because Moscow should be another country, but by the fact now Moscow has another rules, another traditions. Yeah, Moscow it's not like another cities of Russia. No, maybe Moscow and Petersburg they has some VIP status. Yeah, so
Wait a second, but so Russia is a federation, right?
yeah, Russia
Which means
is,
they have municipalities,
yeah.
right? Some local governments,
Yeah,
right?
not yet. It is by our constitution. Yeah, it is so. But really, Russia is not a federation. I
But it's also not a unitary country, right?
yeah, I enjoy to read something, read something about politics, about history. It is my hobby. Yeah, and really, Russia is not a federation because yes, we have all subjects of Russian Federation are.
But it's officially a
under-
federation, right?
Yeah, it is officially. It is a federation, but all subjects are under control of Moscow, and all.
What do you mean Moscow?
Hmm?
What do you mean Moscow? Moscow is just one out of several of the parts in the federation, right?
Yeah.
So why do you say every rest is under Moscow?
Because the government. Why? Because our government in Moscow, and when I mean Moscow, it's mean government. It is so.
But they have to be somewhere. If they would be in St. Petersburg, you would say everybody's under St. Petersburg.
Yeah.
Well, but come on, they have to sit somewhere in the country.
I don't know. Yeah, no, I said.
But the municipalities, they have some autonomy, right?
Yes, but it's not autonomy like in USA because every subjects, for example, every finance of subjects firstly go to Moscow, and after that the Moscow gave to another subjects. It's
You mean the government?
government. Yeah, government.
Sure. Or the parliament, probably, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's because all subjects has their fabrics, their maybe some subjects has oil, maybe some subjects has agriculture, and of course they don't have the same money. So Moscow take all money, and after it is gave to other. But of course, it's not of course, Moscow government take the most money to Moscow, and they spend money to make Moscow greater and greater. And some subjects like my homeland, it is really sad view. If you will come to some cities, in some small cities, not Moscow and Petersburg, or Kazan, it is the capital of Tatarstan. It is also subject of
Tatarstan?
Tatarstan, yeah, it is the subject of Russian
Okay.
Federation. Tatarstan means Tatars.
Isn't it
It
a
isn't-
republic?
Yeah, it is a republic. Yeah, yeah,
See? So that's a federation then.
yeah. It is a
We
republic,
have
but
republics.
Tatarstan also gave money to Moscow, to government of
Yeah,
Moscow,
Well, to the federal government, yes.
to federal government, yeah, and the federal government, take everything under control, because Tatarstan Republic, it is republic because the majority part of population it is Tatars. It
Mhm.
is another nationality, but they, for
Wait a
example,
second, but they have a passport that says Russian, right?
yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, and in schools they must to learn Russian language,
Mm-hmm.
but they and they may to learn
Yeah,
Tatarstan language.
What would you do with Tatar language? You cannot do anything.
But it is a republic. By the fact, it is another nation.
Yeah,
And,
it's just a dialect. Why not?
it's not a dialect.
Yeah, but still, I mean, it's like a dialect. In the federal government, you have the one universal language, and the rest is just.
Of course.
Yeah, sure.
But when one universal language,
It's not an autonomous country. It's a separate. It's a separate entity, but within a bigger
yeah,
confederation almost.
yeah. But so if we talk about USA, all states
Yeah.
has their rules, and maybe if something legal in one state, it is illegal in another state. And
Yeah, but it's only partly true because now, for instance, in the USA, you have cannabis
Yeah.
legal in, I don't know, let's say 10 states, right? Still legal, but still the federal government considers it illegal.
yeah,
So it's against federal law. It's illegal.
It's
Even
illegal.
though the state permits it, it means that the federal government could step in any moment and actually take them, arrest them. The federal government, not the state government. It's weird. It's weird. I think it doesn't. It wasn't. It wasn't planned that way because it sounds ridiculous. If you have a state that says, "Yeah, you can do this," and then another level says, "No, nobody can do that." Yeah.
But by the fact, yeah, no.
It's just that the federal government in the USA probably just doesn't really care about certain things, and even though they could do something, they just choose not to. I think that's the way.
Yeah, but
They could, yeah.
They could, but in Russia it is there are more control.
But you know why I think the difference between America and Russia when it comes to finances is because America had always capitalism, and Russia only for what 20 years, so they still have the what's it called, the mentality of grab as much as possible.
Yeah, it's true.
Because maybe tomorrow there will be no money, right?
Yeah. Yeah. That's true. Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, well, that's the reason why you have a central apparatus, which takes first for itself and then maybe a little bit to
yes,
the
but
others.
I
So?
think it's not right. if
Well, give it another 10 years or so. It's a generation. Thing.
yeah, but you know, it's the generation. But for example, the my
You weren't even born when Yeltsin was president, right?
yeah,
Yeah. See.
but you know, the about next generation.
Mhm.
Now the our mayor of Moscow.
It's the former president.
No,
Medvedev?
no,
No.
President Putin.
No. The mayor of Moscow.
Mayor, it's mean the
Who is the mayor of
the
Moscow?
main guy in city. Mayor.
No, but who is it?
It's Sobyanin.
But it was the case that once the previous Russian president was also before that the Moscow mayor, right? And then Putin was not the president anymore, but became the mayor of Moscow, right?
No. It is premier minister. You know.
Oh.
It's another mayor.
Okay.
Moscow.
All right. Yeah.
This I understand why. You confused because of course Moscow it is VIP city. It is.
But
city
Medvedev wasn't the mayor. Medvedev was
no.
the mayor.
He was a president. Yeah.
And before that, the prime minister, right?
Yeah, he was prime minister, president, and now he is prime minister again.
All right, yeah.
And Putin.
Totally confused.
And Putin was the president. After that, he was prime minister, and now he is president again.
And you have elections next year, right? You have elections next year. Presidential elections. Voting for president.
Yeah, in we will election in 2021. 21st.
Okay. Yeah.
So, it is the fourth time when the Putin is our president. He was president by 2 times. After that, Medvedev
again, and now again, and then maybe 2028 or something like that. Maybe not. Right?
By the law, he can't be president one more time. Because
he can serve 2 consecutive times.
Yeah, he can be president 2 times, and after that, he can't be president 3 times
in a row.
Yeah.
Yes, but
without pause.
Yeah, but he can make the pause and do it every 4 years.
Yeah, right? Like that. Yeah, like that.
Yeah.
But he is so old now. Of course.
How old is he? Probably maybe 60. Maybe.
Yeah, more than 60.
It's not that old. He has definitely 20 years left for president.
You know, there are a lot of jokes in Russia that he's a cyborg, he's a robot, and he will live
a machine.
Machine, yeah, and he will live all times. So, about
I think he likes the presidency.
Yeah, I think when he was a prime minister.
Wait a second, but it's not even. Yeah, well, technically, he came in 1999.
Yes.
So it's been 20 years, and only 4 of them he was not the president.
Yeah, but by the fact when he was a prime minister, he has a real.
How long is the presidency? 4 or 5 years?
4.
4. Because it sounds like it would be 5.
No. Maybe 6 years. It was 4 years, but by the new law of Putin, it is 6 years.
President of Russia.
I think it is 6 years now.
So where does it say? Eligibility, election, vacancy or disability. It should say something somewhere.
Yeah, I know. It is 6 years, and we will have elections in 2024. Because the last elections was elections in 2020, 20, yeah. And
term length 6 years.
Yeah, 6 years.
One
It is a
consecutive
new law
Damn.
which appears when Putin was a president.
Damn.
Yeah, and he said 4 years is too.
I need more.
Yeah, I need more. I want to be president for 6 years.
So how old is Putin? So where's his age?
He is.
I don't get it.
Up to
Oh, here it is. 67.
67. Yeah,
Look at that.
17.
Yeah, so he has at least till 74. Then he steps down for 4 years, and he comes back with 78. See? And then another 12 years, so 88. No, for 74. 74, 78, and another 12 years, so 90. So 90. Putin will not be president when he's 90. Sounds about right.
I think in our laws is some. I think there is some law which doesn't. We have some rules of age, and he will be.
You mean the maximum age?
Yeah, I think yes.
I don't know about that. I don't know.
It's true, because so it is the last time then he can be president.
I don't know. So, a candidate for office must be a citizen of the Russian Federation who is at least 35 years old and has permanently resided. So, it doesn't say anything about maximum age. Age. President of Russia is to carry out his mandate. No, that's not it. I don't think there is a maximum age.
Okay, so.
But yeah, I mean. Let's just see what the internet says about the maximum age for Russian president. President of Russia, what are the requirements to be president? If you want to run for Russian presidency, this rule is foreign friends in high places. Cheat on elections.
Yeah.
Foreign large sums of money, perhaps corruption. Money. Yeah, well, political term limits. Is it Russia? Head of state. Oh, maybe here. So where's Russia? Russia president, 2 consecutive 6-year terms. I was not supposed to do his term 5 years. Yeah. Maybe don't have.
Okay, maybe.
Well, anyway.
I thought we had.
Yeah, well, maybe.
Okay.
I mean, but I would guess that still, it'll change. If they need, they will change the laws, and I think Putin will step down when he's 90 years old. Why not?
Yeah.
Give it another 20 years.
But as he said, he doesn't want to be president more.
He said that?
Yeah, he said.
But he will go for re-election.
Yeah,
right?
But next election, now he can't be candidate in next elections, and after that, he said what it is all. It's.
So basically, he said he will not go for the president after the next 6 years.
Elections after that election.
But for this, he will go.
He can't. He the last 2 times he was a president.
No.
He became to be president in 2020 and won the elections. The next elections was in 2018. He won and the next will be in 2024. So
And so he will. Yeah. All right. I get it. So
and he can't. Yeah.
yeah. So he would need to wait for another 6 years,
Yeah.
and he could go for re-election at 2030.
Yeah, but
All right. I get it. Yeah. Then probably he might. In 2030, he will be 77. It's not that bad.
Now he's
67.
67, yeah.
Now he's 67, and in 2030 he will be 77. Not that bad. So don't trust him. I think he will go for another run. 2030.
Yeah. Of course, now the young people doesn't believe him. You know, after some laws, the last law, which was under his president time. It was the law about upper the age of pensioners. Yeah.
For the retirement, pensions.
No.
So he raised the age of retirement.
Yeah.
Well, but it's all over the world.
Yeah, but it there was a wave of aggression from Russian people, from society, and now a lot. Before that, only young people doesn't believe him, and now it is. It's not only our
but he didn't
generation.
but he didn't make the decision, right, to raise the retirement age. It was the Duma, right?
Yeah, but in our system, president has last vote, and he can.
Well, but
No.
he doesn't make the law.
Yeah, but if he doesn't agree with it, it not be a law. It is only a variant, and he finally only he agree or not agree with the law. Duma only generated some laws, some potential laws.
All right, but that's more or less symbolic that the president just signs it into effect.
No.
The Duma makes the law.
No, not in Russia.
Well, but I mean, it's generally the same procedure.
The
parliament makes the law, the president signs it into effect. And if the president sees that something's wrong with the law, he just gives it back to the parliament.
Last 20 years when Putin was the president, he changed a lot of laws, and sometimes it is some contradict with our constitution, and now he has more power. He like a king. Yeah.
Who gives him power? It's just a Duma. Because he's just one man. I mean, if the Duma doesn't follow, he's just one man.
Yeah.
So the Duma is the one who has the power. It just agrees with him.
Yeah. Yes, but
because the Duma parliamentarians are probably all millionaires, right?
Yeah, and all guys in Duma are friends of Putin.
Yeah, see, nice to be friends.
Nice to be friends. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
sounds like a nice guy. If he makes all his friends millionaires, that's pretty nice.
It's funny, but it's not funny. It's sad what the situation in our country.
Well, but it's probably more related to the fact that it's really, really cold in Russia, right? Many times of the year, right?
That's not so cold. Finland is more colder than Russia, of course.
Yeah, but most of Finland is not really inhabited. You have basically the south of Finland with the most population.
Yeah, but the Helsinki is near the Petersburg, and you know.
Yeah, but Petersburg is all fine. Petersburg and Moscow are all very fine, right?
Yeah,
It's
but
no
it is
problems.
historically, because before Moscow, the capital of Russia was Petersburg.
Yeah.
And historically, there are more people than in other.
Yeah, and everything's fine. Well, generally speaking. If you talk about problems in Russia, you are not really talking about St. Petersburg and Moscow.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So, I don't talk about these cities, but about weather. I think we doesn't have some problems with that. It's not cold. No, as for me, because there are some. Why I remember Finland, because if we talk about problems, a lot of people said what we have problems because there are some problems with weather. It is hard to live there. It is very cold.
I understood what you meant when you said it's not good that the Duma parliamentarians are all millionaires. But what I'm saying is, if you would have a nice climate, it wouldn't really bother you. It wouldn't really bother you if the Duma is all just corrupt millionaires, right? Yeah. You still would have the nice sun and just enjoy. It would be like Spain.
Yeah, but I know what Spain has some problems with corruption too, but
they have nice weather. See?
But
no big deal.
And their corruption is not like Russian. In Russia, it is some horrible sizes.
I think Russian corruption is nothing compared to Italian corruption.
By the fact, Russia is one of the richest country because we have a lot of
natural resources. Yes,
natural resources. Yeah,
but they are private or public resources, right? So Gazprom probably owns most of it, right?
Yeah.
So that is a state company.
Yes, it's a state company. No, like state.
Well, the Russian government owns Gazprom, right? Or at least the big majority.
Yeah, a lot of large companies are not government by the fact, but by the law. But the director of these companies are friends of Putin, and they are like governments. So it is.
It's like a kolkhoz system.
Yeah.
See.
So
they have the resources. It's just that they don't really share.
Yeah.
But why would they? If they can just keep it to themselves, why not? But that's not really Russia related. It's just human nature.
Yeah.
Most except Norway. I think Norway has a really good social system.
Yeah, but there was a lot of oil in the Norway, but their system
it benefits the population.
Yeah, it is.
But that's an exemption. That's an anomaly, right? Everybody else just tries to stuff their pockets and go to the Cayman Islands.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't know. Oh, by the way, I have a clickbait topic. India. What do you know about India?
About India?
Yes.
I wasn't in India, but.
Do you get a lot of Indians come to Moscow?
Not really. No, I think yes, but in Moscow more Uzbekistans, Kyrgyzstans, Tajiks, from the Central Asia, and post-Soviet countries, of course, and now, so there are not a lot of Indians.
And no Bangladeshis or Pakistanis?
No.
Really?
Really, if you come to Moscow, you don't understand who.
Because they look similar.
In Moscow now more Asians than Europeans. Yeah, because
But Russian Asians, right?
Hmm?
But Russian Asians, right? Not
Mm,
China Asians.
In China it is something special. Yeah.
So remember,
we have a lot
I met a girl who looked totally Japanese.
Mm.
She spoke English and Russian,
Mhm.
and she said, "Yeah, no, I'm Russian." I said, "No, you're not Russian."
Maybe she's from Yakutia.
She didn't look. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
with an
We
epsilon,
has a lot of republics, like Yakutia in the Asia part of Russia, but in Moscow there are a lot of Chinese, and a lot of people from Middle Asia, from Central Asia, from Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan,
Mhm.
and it is and Tajikistan, and they are so. It's not Russia; it is in other countries, but they come more and more in Moscow, and of course, maybe there are a lot of there are not so a lot of Pakistans, but Indians, because the government of Russia is they give a chance. They specially take people from Central Asia.
Because they speak Russian.
Yes, they speak Russian, and yes. Oh,
But they don't make kebabs.
they make a lot of kebabs.
Really?
Really?
I think they just make some rice with some sheep
No.
meat.
No, kebabs too. In Moscow you can find everything, and it's really it's so large city. What one my group mate from small city in the south of Russia, from Armavir. Yeah, it is small city in the south near the Caucasian mountains, and when she came to our university, we spoke with her, and she said, my city is really cool. We have 2 KFC, and in Moscow maybe 3 or 4 thousands, thousands of KFC. It is in you can stay near the metro, and there are 4 restaurants of KFC or McDonald's, and so in Moscow you can find everything, every store, every restaurants, every food from every part of our world, and
Well, except India. Except India.
Except India, we have Indian restaurants, of course, too. Yeah, we have Indian restaurants, Iran restaurants, African restaurants, and Moscow is really multinational, multicultural city. There are everyone. You can find everyone in Moscow, but the majority part, of course, they are from these countries, Uzbekistan and Kazakhstan. Kazakhstan too, about the post-Soviet countries. So Indians, it's not so a lot of Indians.
Would you like to travel to India?
Yeah, I think my last trip before this was in Iran. It is. And
how easy was it to get into Iran?
That's not problem, because Iran and Russia has some friendly relationships.
Oh, you terrorists! Look at you.
Yeah, it is another problem. I don't agree with our with our world politic.
But Russia is not Muslim, right?
No,
it's Orthodox Christian, right?
We doesn't have offshore religion, and Russia is multicultural country because we have a lot of nations. In Caucasus, there are a lot of Muslims. In Tatarstan, Tatarstans are Muslims.
So Moscow does have what's it called? Mosques? No.
Mosques.
Mosques.
Yeah, they and it is one of my favorite buildings in Moscow. Moscow Cathedral Mosque. Yeah, we have Catholic churches, Praslavic churches, mosques.
So that means that Russia is more tolerant towards religion than China. Because China.
I know.
Yeah.
The situation. In that plane, I enjoy all cultures, all nations, and it is one of good sides for me.
I just enjoy the good ones. I just enjoy the good ones.
But so it is one of the, if we talk about that, it is one of the reason what told my mother. She said there are a lot of Asians and you need to. And I said, why? It's not right. I enjoy Asians. It's not. But she.
I think Asians are crazy. I mean, they
are another.
They have a totally different attitude towards many things. If you would find, let's say, some things normal in the West or Europe, right, it wouldn't be considered.
Yeah, of course.
Sometimes it's just quirky, and sometimes it's almost lethal.
No, as for me, no, I was in Iran before, and I said no.
Did you eat some hummus?
Yeah, I ate hummus. I was in Israel too. I ate hummus from but about Iran, it is the country with the most kindly and warm-blooded people at all. They are so
Iran?
kind. Iran, yes.
I think that's because you are a white male.
Not only about.
You should be a girl with a mini skirt over there.
I think it's not possible to.
See, so that wouldn't be so welcoming.
But it's not only because I'm white.
It's like you would
European.
go to Saudi Arabia, right? Of course, you are a white dude just coming to Arabia to visit. Everything's normal.
I want to come to Arabia, Saudi Arabia, too. But no, it's not only because I'm white, because I also use a couch surfing and find some guys from Iran, and because I'm European, there was a lot of attention for my person. Of course, they want to take some photos with me, and it's classic situation when you
did they share some drugs with you?
No.
See, that's rude.
But
they should have some good opium over there.
Yes. When I was in last city, it was Yazd, and my host said me, do you want to taste opium?
So?
But I said no.
Oh man, what a terrible guest you are.
He said, I'm so terrible host, I don't ask you about opium. I said, no, thank you. So.
Why didn't you try it?
Firstly, it is because I more enjoy health type of life. Yeah, it's so cold. I don't drink alcohol, I don't smoke, and I don't want to.
Well, there's a difference between you don't do it regularly
and
but you try it.
But in Russia is a lot of laws, and it is drugs. It is one of the taboo. Of the most.
Come on. Vodka is a drug. All right?
But alcohol, it is another.
See.
There are a lot of experiments
what vodka is to Russians is opium for the Persians. So you just The culture is different.
Yeah, I understand.
attitude is
So,
similar.
but I'm Russian, and in Russia is really serious about. Yeah, it is really serious about this question. If you try some drugs, there are a lot of tests when they can find it what you tasted.
You know, I have an idea of why many governments try to actually enforce very strict laws against drugs. I don't think it's because they are worried about the health. I think it's because people who use drugs will get passive. They will not respond to propaganda.
Mm.
I think it's the same for every big country. All big countries try to control people,
Mhm.
right? Most of the time.
Yeah.
You don't give them. You give them enough freedoms so they pay their taxes, so they be scared of the police and
Yeah,
all
yeah.
of these things. But you don't give them as much freedom that they could say, "No, government, I won't do what you ask of me. No, no,
Mhm.
I don't like that. I won't do that." So, but if somebody uses drugs, they're just like, whatever, right? They won't go to any work maybe, or maybe do some duties.
Mhm.
So they will be passive, right?
Yeah,
and,
yeah,
and if a
right.
government wants to control people, they need active people who do what they are told to do.
Yeah, but
Right?
for example, Iran, it is one of the most totalitarian country, and they want to control people. And but
But it's
yeah,
religious. But it's a totally religious country.
yeah, and
Even-
it is
even though-
illegal to.
Even though I think Iran has a big underground when it comes
Yeah.
to the
Mm.
Western
Yeah, yeah.
culture.
Really,
They have the internet there, right?
yeah, they
Yeah,
have
so-
internet, but it is under control. But they have VPN,
So
and
just,
yeah, so it's not. 1st November, yeah, 3 days ago in Russia became to be active new law about sovereign internet.
Hmm?
Now in Russia is new law
Okay.
about internet, and
And what does it say?
it say what Russia need to create new Russian internet, and
Their own internet.
yeah,
Nice.
like China.
I've heard of China that they just ban Google and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, but they don't need it. I mean, China is a whole different world.
yeah.
They have their own, what's it called? I don't remember. They combined basically WhatsApp, Facebook, and all those things in one something. I don't remember what
Yeah.
they're called.
But and yeah, it's of course the majority part of Russians think that it is a mistake, and we don't want to don't want this law. But Duma and Putin.
Well, but that's another thing. If you have a silly law, at one point in time it will be abolished. It's just a matter of time.
Mm,
Because look at what was it? Egypt? Arab Spring,
yeah,
right? It was totally from the internet.
yeah, yeah. I'm in Latvia. I'm in Riga. I'm not in Russia. Really, Russia, the last 5 years maybe, there are more and more people who don't agree with the government, and there are a lot of meetings. Yeah, a lot of. Do you saw last news about from Russia? There was a lot of meetings where people said what they don't agree. There's a
Only thing I've seen of Russia in the past 10 years when it comes to meetings
yeah.
are pussy riots.
Yeah.
I found that interesting.
Yeah, so I think the near maybe 5 years when then will be next elections, there will be something like revolution. I don't know, in Russia. Because
Well, I don't think it's really a possibility for a traditional revolution. I think it's just a generation shift. Younger people who will get afterwards into politics, who will get into government.
Yeah, but
They don't really
you know-
have the same kolkhoz mentality.
yeah, I know. Yeah, I agree with you, but you know that's the problem because young people now, the active government doesn't have a chance to new politics. They don't give young people to create their political career. Yeah, there are only
So who-
only Putin and only friends of Putin.
So
and they,
who's the youngest Duma member?
oh, I don't know.
Probably around 30 years old. Probably. 30 or starting 40 years old.
No, maybe.
So it's not that old. Not that old. I don't know if it's really that critical to be a friend of Putin, because Duma members get elected, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
you just
But,
be popular.
cheating
You just
in,
be popular.
votings.
Well, or maybe that's something you could actually avoid with having those what's it called, electronic voting, electronic elections.
Yeah, but
I think only Estonia does that.
yeah, Estonia.
Yeah, so we don't have that. But yeah, I would say it's just a matter of time.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that Putin is sometimes sitting and just watching some YouTube videos about himself
No,
and thinking, maybe I should stop?
I think
Because he probably watches YouTube, right? Everybody does.
I think not.
Everybody who uses the internet now does sometime watch YouTube.
He said it was in his interview what he doesn't like internet, and so he doesn't have any profiles in social.
Well, alright, you
like,
don't need profiles, yeah, but some YouTube video, come on,
maybe
every once in a while.
maybe I think
Maybe his YouTube recommendations are all just Russia Today channels.
okay, I think he saw something, but usually he has so old, maybe no, okay, 67, it's not so old, do you know?
Well, technically he is at the age
Yeah.
where he should retire, right? It's
Yeah.
a retirement age. Yes.
Yeah.
But he still has how much? 5 years ago, right? You said he was elected last year.
Last 1 year, it was in 2018.
So 5 years still.
Yeah,
Yeah, so 2024.
yeah, 5 years.
So 5 years still to go ahead. So 72. Yeah, decent retirement age.
I think he more old by his mind, not maybe body work, but
Both.
no, both. You know,
You said it yourself. Everybody who lives in Moscow dies sooner.
yeah.
I think we can wrap it up.
Okay.
Any final thoughts?
About
I don't know. Any thoughts about Latvia? Ideas for the future?
but we talk about Russia, but okay, about Latvia.
Yeah.
Latvia is a really good country. I recommend to everybody to visit it. To visit Riga.
It's funny. You are more enthusiastic about Latvia than I am.
Yeah, you know, we have some phrases about this. What it is better when better where we are, where not we are.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The,
so-
the grass is greener on the
Yeah,
other side.
yeah. So, yeah. Well, maybe I don't know a future of Latvia, but in every way I recommend you to visit it because it is a great history.
And how many countries have you been?
Maybe 19, maybe 20.
Yeah, so that's coming from an experienced traveler.
Yeah, and Latvia is very important for me by the another reason, because it is my first country what I visited alone, without friends, without. No, I don't visit.
So you visited the 18 countries with somebody else? Together?
Yeah.
Ah.
Not all 18, because I have only 2 trips without friends, alone, and one of them was it was a great travel. I from Moscow to Petersburg, from Helsinki, Finland, Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, and Poland. So yeah, it was one trip, large trip with that I was alone. But Riga, it is my favorite city of this travel.
By the way, I might have some questions for you in the near future, because I found out that some of my relatives were, I don't know, emigrated to Russia at one point in time, and so according to my Finnish relatives, a dude came from Moscow to Helsinki in the 1970s, or I don't know when, but I think she said around the 1970s, and said, "Oh, he's actually the relatives of my Finnish relatives, right?" But he was from Moscow. So I asked my Finnish relatives, "Do you know anything about him?" Only his first and last name, and that he was from Moscow. He was living in Moscow. Yeah, so I don't know if I will get the chance to actually get to find him on the internet. But yeah, maybe you will have some suggestions if I have some questions. Maybe there are some, I don't know, archives. Yeah, but it just came to my mind right now. Yeah, so because recently visiting my Finnish relatives. Yeah.
So yeah, and
you should probably have some Finnish relatives as well, right? How far is Finland from you? From your original town?
I was born in Moscow, but from my
so parents, yes.
From my parents, I think it's
more than St. Petersburg.
No. Of course, Petersburg and Helsinki is really near. Yeah, there is Helsinki, there is Petersburg, there is Moscow, and like this. Yeah. Maybe like from Moscow to Helsinki, but to the another side. I think
a couple of 100 kilometers.
Maybe 500 kilometers. No, 5. Yeah, 500 kilometers, I think, like that.
Because you could pass as a Finn.
Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely are some northern type of dude.
Yeah, that's, to came to Finland, it's not a problem because you can visit Petersburg from Moscow. Yeah, Moscow and Petersburg are so good connected. We have a lot of trains, a lot of buses, and a lot of planes, which cost around €5 maybe. You can
go to Petersburg
from Moscow, Petersburg. Yeah.
Nice.
So if you want to come to Finland, the best way is Moscow, Petersburg, Finland. Yeah. So that's all. And yeah, from my city, it's hard to to go to Finland.
Yeah. Anyway, let's finish it. Thank you.
Thank you.
And maybe see you sometime in the future.
Yeah.
All right. Let me just press a lot of stops.